Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our brand new reality. um, Here I am. I'm recording, actually recording in my basement living room. I was recording in my office before this, and then my computer started to die, so I had to move where it was plugged in. Uh, Welcome. I hope you are okay. I hope you are healthy. I hope that you are resourced up, and I hope that you're not having to go out and that you're doing okay having to stay inside. I know some people are having a tough time. Um, I just want to do this. I want to walk us through our new reel here. Okay. I've got some amendments to a few things to talk about. Not much for this course, but I'm going to walk you through kind of what our weeks are going to look like in D2L. Then we're going to look ahead a little bit, and that's it. I'm going to try to keep this as short and simple and to the point as possible so that we can dive right in. Okay. So first things first, I'm going to walk you through some of the amendments to policies or grade structure or anything. And by the way, this document that I am showing you will be available in D2L. Okay. So not really much changes about our grading structure for this class. We were set up pretty well for the switch, even though I didn't mean to make it that way. It's how it happened. So you're still going to have to do your artifact paper. You're still going to have to take the 3 quizzes. Our pre-work assignments, though, are now our weekly discussion boards. And each week, we're going to have 2 discussion boards. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that whenever I get into the tour of the D2L shell. But each week, we will have 2 discussions, and, and you'll see why here in a little bit. The journals are still one of the assignments that you're going to be working on, and there is still attendance, okay, which we'll talk about. So just wanted you to see that the grading structure doesn't really change anything. The idea is to keep it as similar as possible so that there's less to worry about. My goal was to make the change be the change in the medium, not causing a ton of upheaval. There's some, but not as much, okay? So what are some of the changes? Well, here we go. Okay. So we have some amended policies and dates in here. Okay. So now let's start with the pre-work. The pre-work was just you reading from the book and then responding to something and then bringing that to class and us doing stuff in class with it. Now that pre-work is the work that you do. It is your weekly discussions. And the biggest change is actually you will now respond to your peers. You need to respond to your peers in order to get credit for the discussion boards. Okay? So all these conversations we were having in class in our small groups now just happen in the discussion boards. Okay, so each discussion consists of a minimum of 3 posts for each of you. Okay, so for each discussion board, you'll have your one initial post, which is your original response to the prompt, whatever that is. Um, and then you have to, for each discussion, have 2 thoughtful, engaging responses for your peers. So this can happen in an exchange with one person. I'm okay with that. This can also happen to where you respond to 2 different people. I believe we're going to be pretty good about spreading it out, but if we're not, I'll comment on that and we'll fix it down the line. But when I say thoughtful and engaging responses, what I mean is that just responding, that's great, or I totally agree, that's so funny, that's not enough. You actually have to explain why with follow up. Okay, so make sure that when you do reply, you give a real reply of a couple of sentences and not just a couple of words. Okay, and then the artifact paper. The deadline for the artifact paper is actually going to stay um, close, but it's not quite the same. I've extended it to Sunday, April the 26th. It gives you a couple of extra days, and that is the absolute latest I can allow you to turn that in, me be able to grade it and get it returned back to you so you have the chance to do a rewrite. So that date has been extended a little bit. For the journals, because we lost a week, I'm doing 2 things. The week before our spring break, we lost, so I'm relaxing the week, 1 week between turning in journals rule. Where before, if you turned it in on Friday, I'd want you to wait till Friday the next week at the latest, or at the earliest, to turn that in to give me some time in between. Now the rule is just don't turn more than one in at a time. Give me a couple of days. in between. So now it's okay to turn a journal in on Monday and then one on Wednesday or Thursday rather than having to wait till the next Monday. We lost a week, and so I'm relaxing that. But also to gain that week back, I'm extending the final due date for our journals to now be Sunday, May the 10th. That way you have some extra time. It's a full week, in fact, really. So make sure that you get your journals done. Okay. There are no changes to the late tokens. They are still applicable in the same way they were before per the original syllabus. Our attendance, we still have attendance, okay? And everything we did, by the way, pre-work, everything we did in the first half of the semester still counts. This move online does not start us completely fresh. It's just a change in medium, okay? So from here on out, attendance is based on your participation in the weekly discussions. And so there are 2 discussions each week. You have 2 attendance days for each week already set up. That's how that works. So you need to participate in the discussions to get the attendance points. Okay. Um, Office hours. I am going to be holding online office hours from 3:30 to 5:30 on Wednesdays. Okay. I will post a link to. I'm going to do it via WebEx, I think, but we'll see if I change. But all you'll have to do is go to the D2L shell, click the button in the announcement, and it'll take you to where you're gonna where you need to be. I will be there. You don't have to stay the full 2 hours if you show up. It's a way for you to drop in, ask questions, us have a conversation that's more real time than an email or whatever. It might be nice if you popped in just to say hello. I'd love to know that you're well and doing okay, and we could have a conversation about how we're all coping with this and stuff like that. But every Wednesday, 3:30 to 5:30. If that doesn't work for you, let me know. I'll set up another time and we'll make it work. Okay, we will make it work. Okay, so quizzes. Um, to help reduce some of the anxiety around the end of our semester, because man, this is new for all of us. We are in a twilight zone of what the heck. Uh, all future quizzes will have 3 attempts from the get-go, where before you could cash in a late token and do that. I'll just give you the 3 attempts, okay, to reduce some of the stress. I hope that helps a little bit. We still have to do the quizzes, but hopefully that helps that allows us to have a little bit less stress. So now what I want to do is this. I want to jump over to our D2L shell, and I want to let you know kind of how each week is going to look. Okay, so I want to show you this. Each week is going to look basically the same. You're going to go in, always check the announcements, by the way. Always check the announcements in D2L. Make sure that there's not a screencast there or an announcement there. Most weeks I will have something there just as a welcome. Hey, here's what's happening this week. Always check the announcements. Then go over to course materials and the content, and I'm going to show you that in a second, how to navigate all of this. And each week looks basically the same. You're going to have a read and respond in the first discussion board where you read something from the book. You'll respond. You'll discuss. There will be screencasts in the middle of that, like this, where you're watching me talk about something, and then there'll be another discussion board where you read and respond again. That's the groove of each week. The weeks where there are quizzes, the quizzes will be a step in each week. Okay, so don't worry about it. It will be there. Okay, so then here's what it looks like. If you come over to our D2L shell, you cannot see this yet. I have this invisible, and I have it invisible for a reason. I want to get everything just right before I make it visible. But you will come into your D2L shell. You come into the main page. You go to course materials, content, and it will bring you to this page. Now, it might not show this. Yours might be up here. So this was our original spring module right here. And by the way, everything is still in there. If you can click on that, and you can see everything is still there. The syllabus is still there. Assignment sheets are still there. The PowerPoints, the late token, all of that is still there for you to use. Okay. And then, but our new semester, the second half is here. And instead of being broken up by day, it's broken up by week now. And you can see the weeks right here, week 11 12, 13, 14, okay? And here's the best way to navigate this. Don't just click here on the spring 2020 and start getting busy. You can. The best way is to click on that, and then once you've read this right here, jump into week 11 like this. And then it's going to break down step 1, step 2, step 3. And every week we'll have these steps broken down, okay? Step 1, boom, do that with the discussion board right here. And you should be able to click right here and get over to the discussion board where you can put you start a new thread and you do your initial post. Okay? That's how that works. Back over here. Okay, so relational dialectics will be this first week. Now, I know that we began relational dialectics before we left. I gave a quick introduction, and it makes me sad that we don't get to do it together face to face, but I have some screencasts here, okay? My screencasts here, this will be each of these is 15 minutes. 15, 15. You lose the first 5 here, so you're looking at 40 minutes of screencast right here is all this is, okay? So for this first one, start at 4 minutes and 13 seconds. I did my screencasts at one point where they're all together on the theories, and this way I can save some time and not re-record the same thing, okay? Just start at 4 minutes, 13 seconds, okay? So really what that means is just to show you, click on it, it's gonna pull it up, maybe. There we go. It'll pull it up and then just start it and then jump to 413, okay? That's what I mean there, okay? Just wanna make sure that's clear. All right, back over here. All right, folks, and folks, that's the groove for each week. That's how it's going to go. All right, it'll be all right here in the table of contents. You click on the week, it'll give you the steps. All right, I'm trying to keep it as simple and straightforward as possible. So to wrap up here, running low on time for this screencast. I am catching up on the grading. I've got some journals to grade, and so let me get that done and get everything caught up. Uh, I've spent so much time these last 2 weeks getting these online shells built that I just have not been able to grade one iota. The quizzes will still happen. Quiz 2 will be week 12. We would have done it the week before spring break, but it's gone. Quiz 3 will be the last week of class, okay? There will be reviews. I will screencast on it. I will make sure that you are ready, okay? And folks, that's really it. We will finish this semester. It's weird and it's a Twilight Zone semester, but we will get to the end. It's probably not the ideal way to finish. I know I already miss meeting in class and talking, but hopefully we can do some office hours and see each other and stuff like that. But we will finish the semester. Summer will come. I can't guarantee that. In fact, I don't know. We may not be done with this virus by summer. I don't know, but summer will come and you will be done with this class. And at least that can happen. Okay. So make sure you communicate often if you have, communicate with me if you have a question or a concern or you're wondering something. Make sure that I'm aware of it. Okay. And I will see you in the boards and I hopefully will see you in office hours sometime soon.